Hey gang, it is your boy Kuro, and I hope you guys are having a great day today. As you may have guessed from the title of this video and what you're seeing right now on the screen, we are doing a PvP class tier list today. That is correct. New patches here, lots of stuff has changed since the last time I did one of these, and I have a lot to talk about, okay? This tier list will be based mostly off of solo and small group settings, but I will also just talk about the classes in general, you know, how they perform in PvP. Now, this is, of course, all very heavily opinion-based, and I am by no means an authority on a majority of the classes in this game, but I do want to throw in my 2 cents and share my thoughts with all of you. So, if you disagree, if you agree, if you want to insult me and my opinions and make me feel like a worthless worm crawling through the dirt, by all means, feel free to leave a comment down below, and let's start a discussion, okay? Also, make sure to sub if you're not already, so you don't miss any of my weekly content going forward, and let's go ahead and hop on in. We're just going to go ahead and start at the left, moving to the right, all the way over here. And it looks like we're starting with Magicka DK. So, with Magicka DK, I feel like with the changes to base stats, with the changes to damage, and with the changes to the DK's heal not too long ago, and the way that works with the new base stats and all that, Mag DK is honestly kind of busted right now, okay? Mag DK is absolutely fucking nuts in some situations. Also, can I get rid of this? I don't want double S. That's extra. Can we just delete this row? Oh shit! What have I done? Well, that's fine. I guess we've got double S, A, B, and C now. Okay, there we go. So Mag DK, I feel like, is actually, it's low-key an A tier, okay? There's so much damage right now that Mag DK's dots rip people's noses off. They have an insane heal in the form of, what's it called, coagulating blood. The thing is absolutely disgusting. It's so good now. It's better than an Honor the Dead, it's better than a Sork pet burst heal, you know, for yourself at least. Probably, it's one of the best self-heals in the game by far. I can only think of 1 or 2 maybe that would beat it out. They do have strong burst options with things like the Molten Whip and Flames of Oblivion, which I have been seeing a lot. They have good ultimates, they have pretty solid group utility as well, with things like Talons, with things like Standard. And just, again, all that dot pressure right now, and the fact that everyone and their mother is running a vampire makes Mag DK a really strong contender this patch, I believe. Now, they do lack a little bit of mobility, and they don't have too many impressive burst skills like some other classes, but they do bring the damage, and they do survive very well, and if you do the right stuff with them, they can compete a pretty good bit. So I think A is where they should sit. Next up we have the Magicka Necromancer, and I believe, just gonna throw it out there, I feel like Magicka Necromancer is also, well, you know what, it's somewhere between A and B. Oh Jesus, I'm gonna say A for Mag Necro as well, because for one, Mag Necros are incredibly sturdy, okay? They get a lot of natural damage mitigation from their class kit, they have probably the best healing kit in the game, but when it comes to damage, they do have a lot of problems. Stalking Blast Bones is incredible. Boneyard, the synergy, is again incredible. Really strong ultimate with the Colossus, but with things like Colossus and the Boneyard, people have to stand in that area for that to work. And sometimes that just ain't the move, Chief, you know? So, when it comes to offensive kit, they have options. They do a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, it's just so much harder for Mag Crows to put people down, unless they are absolutely brainless and stand in all of the big circles that they shouldn't be standing in. They don't have a class Execute, they have absolutely no mobility at all, but when it comes to staying alive, they are incredible, and if you are playing a Mag Necro in a small group of players, and you can get that coordinated ult dump, you can get your synergy off, you can get your big smashy boy off, you're going to rip a lot of faces from skulls and throw them on the ground at your feet. So I believe that is why I would call Mag Crow an A tier. Now, this one is a bit of a touchy subject, Mag Nightblade. If we're talking about Mag Nightblade gankers, Mag Nightblade bombers, S tier, okay? But I don't want to do that. because that's easy, that's shoehorning them a victory. When it comes to Magblade in general, if you're playing just a classic Magblade, you know, you're brawling it out with people, Magblade is easily a C. Magblade is one of the worst classes in the game. The kit is absolutely horrible right now. Burst is extremely readable. You can't really use Cloak unless you are a straight-up ganker, because there's not enough healing options for you as a Magblade unless you want to just absolutely ruin your bar space. Like I said, people dodge all of your damage. You're spammable. It's okay damage. The fact that it heals you is a bonus, but honestly, it doesn't really hit hard enough to justify using it when it comes to Swallow Soul. You could do melee Magblade, but then you have all the same problems that ranged Magblade has, except for now you're closer to the enemy so they can beat your ass easier. So, yeah, most Magblades you fight, at the end of the day, are literally just tanks, and that is it. You know, they've got the 35k HP, they've got Dark Cloak, they've got Rapid Regen, they've got Vamp Stage 3, they've got Pariah. All they do is stay alive and maybe burst you with medium to moderately high damage every, 15 seconds or so. Magblade is honestly in a rough spot, has been for patches and patches. They're not doing anything to fix it, but it's okay, because you can bomb, you can gank, and you can feel like a real Chad if you want to. Next up is Standblade. Standblade, easily an A tier, would say S tier, but when it comes to the survivability kit, it's a little weird, okay? So, I believe Standblade is incredibly powerful, okay? Especially right now. You could easily say that Standblade is an S tier, but I don't want to do that. Because the thing with Standblade, again, is that it comes down to ganking. Standblade is super strong right now with how damage works, with how crit works, with the fact that no one is using critical resistance, with the fact that you can, like, 1-2 tap people. Their offensive kit is incredible. But, to get that incredible offense, you end up sacrificing a lot and being very squishy and easy to kill unless you have the thumbs to back it up. So you have to be able to move, you have to be able to master line of sight, you have to be able to master learning when and when not to cloak, and even if you know when to cloak, it's a 50-50 toss-up whether or not it's even going to work. So Standblade is super strong offensive kit. Burst, though, is dodgeable. They don't have some AoE group burst like some of the other classes do. Sure, you can rip people's faces off with 23k or more bow every now and then, but again, that's single target. It's telegraphed. People are going to know you're going to do it. The second that a Standblade hits you, you're going to start blocking, you're going to start rolling. Both of those things make Standblade damage pretty useless. But when it comes to ganking, they are pretty exceptional, especially those spin to win boys. So I think it's a really strong class offensively, and if you get more than a couple of these things slapping you in the titties at the same time, you're going to die more often than not. But as a solo class, it feels fantastic because you get to be mobile, you get to be quick, you get to be elusive, you get to hit hard. But again, like I said, you die easy, which is a big no-no, a big oofy doofy woofy. Okay. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about Standblade. Now let's move on to one of my babies, one of the sad, pathetic babies of mine here, Stamplar. Stamplar is B tier. Stamplar is B tier, okay? Some people are gonna freak out about this. They're gonna be like, you just spam jabs on Stamplar and you're gonna kill stuff. Oh my god, you're fucking stupid. Yes, jabs right now, with the way damage works, incredibly potent. Absolutely amazing spammable when you're not lagging your ass off. But everything else about Stamplar is absolutely abysmal, okay? One of the squishiest classes in the game. Horrible healing. Sustain is a joke on Stamplar. You don't sustain for shit. You get the rune and that's it. That's the only assistance you get with your sustain, and that is not enough right now. If you try to play Stamplar on medium, you're gonna run out of resources and die unless you've got like 3k recovery. It's it feels like shit, but because of literally just jabs is the only thing keeping Stamplar out of C tier for me. I love Stamplar, okay? I used to be a Stamplar main every day, every night. Stamplar was my jam. Now, I'd rather jam it in a hole and bury it in the fucking ground somewhere because it just infuriates me to play this class now. It used to be so good, now it just feels horrible. If you're in a group and you're jabbing people, yeah, you're gonna feel great. You're gonna feel real strong because you probably got people giving you off heals and you got people to draw a line of sight for you. But even then, if you're playing a Stamplar, no one wants you in a group because you don't bring any real group utility whatsoever. So, again, all you really have on Stamplar is jabs. That is the Stamplar identity, is poke, 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 and hope they die. So, I just don't think that they get enough to make that class feel worth it. Next up, we have a Stamina Necromancer. Absolutely easiest S tier I've ever chosen in my life. Stamina Necromancer is insane, always has been, always will be, and is especially insane right now. There's so much free damage in the game right now that you could build full tank on a Stamina Necromancer and still absolutely mushroom stamp people, okay? And throw in on top of that the fact that Necromancer naturally gets an absolutely amazing healing kit, absolutely amazing tank ability, and since you're on stamina, you can get all the mobility you want, because you could be in medium, you can get more dodge rolls, you can do things like elude, you have, if you do heavy, you know, you've got decent mag sustain for things like Race Against Time, because you're not a Magicka character that's using all of your Magicka for everything else, so it's, you know, just Magicka dump some mobility there. You have a lot of options on the Stamina Necromancer. You're tanky as balls. You have the best burst ability in the fucking game. You get just natural healing reduction, which, by the way, really, really important right now. If you guys aren't running a Defile on your build and you have access to one, give it a go, okay? Because that 16% healing reduction is quite nice, because everyone's healing so much right now. So the healing reduction on top of the fact that everyone's taking so much damage, people die. It's quite nice. But yes, when it comes to ultimates, their ultimates kind of suck. They have the Smashy Boy, which is good. But again, it's like people have to be brain dead and stand in it. Res ultimate, if you want to be a tank, sure, that's fine. That's cool. And then the Colossus, you know, it's good for staying alive. But that's it, you know, it's clown form. You just look like an idiot when you go into it. If you have enough health, it can be quite effective, and it is definitely good for giving you some more offensive pressure, but at the end of the day, I'd rather backbar something simple like Sword and Board Ultimate most of the time. But yeah, that's it for Stamina Necromancer. Easy, easy, easy S tier. Would play one if it wasn't so cheese. Magsworks, this is hard for me. It's either B or A. Magsworks and no proc was S. We all know that, but now that procs are back, there's more dots. There's more crazy, stupid sets just ripping people apart. Magsworks aren't tanky enough for it. I feel like you could put them in either one of these. Let's go with A, because Magsworks get incredible ranged pressure. They get a semi-spammable single target attack that pops twice and is unblockable and undodgeable in the form of Curse, which when you get 1 or 2 or 3 curses on you, it's basically game over unless you can cleanse them off because it deals so much fucking damage. Delayed damage execute, always I get hit for like 9k from that thing sometimes on a vampire stage 3. It's incredible. They get curse, they get mage's wrath, whatever execute thing that's called, and then they get frags, which will clock you for like 11k sometimes from range. So all the same pressure of a Standblade, except from range. And then they've got Streak or Ball of Lightning, either one. So their mobility is incredible. They naturally get movement speed just by using their armor buff if they're using it. They're all over the damn place. Big boy damage. They can slot in the chicken for big heals and big heals on their group if they want to, and that's annoying. So yeah, I think A tier is a pretty good spot for Magsworks, but with the fact that it's just a lot harder for Magsworks to exist in the stamina-dominated meta, where there are procs and there's a lot more dots now, and the fact that dots are so incredibly powerful right now because of all this CP and shit, it just makes Sorks, makes them pretty easy to kill in a lot of situations, unless you're a really good fucking Sork. Next, let's talk about Stamswork. This one might be a bit controversial. I'm throwing Stamswork in S tier. I'm going to be real with you guys. When it comes to solo PvP, I feel like Stamswork is probably the premier solo PvP class. They have amazing burst potential with things like Crystal Weapon, combined with the Dizzy Swing or your spammable of choice. You can absolutely rip someone's fucking hairline all the way to the back of their head, remove it from their head, toss it at their grandmother, make her eat it and then spit it back on his head and be like, "Thank you, keep the change." That's Stampswork. The burst potential on Stampswork is incredible. Pair that with their inherent mobility, with 10% movement speed from their armor buff, with Ball of Lightning if they want it, Streak if they want it, as well as the fact that it's stamina. So again, all those same mobility options you get on every stamina character you can get on your Stampswork. Now, do they have a good healing kit? Not really. Are they the tankiest class in the game? Definitely not. But that mobility is absolutely king right now, because mobility is the most reliable source of survival in the game currently. If you can avoid taking damage, as opposed to trying to tank through damage, you'll be much better off. And Stampswork can do that. They dodge roll a lot because they're Stam. They can streak, they can run fast, they zoom. They're fast, they're fast, they're fast. That is the Stampswork identity, baby. Speed. I am speed. I am Stampswork. And then they've got just a ridiculously high damage. The most effective Dizzy Swing spammers in the game. Definitely Stampswork. And yeah, that's about all I got to say about them. Stamina DK. Stamdk goes in B tier. It's kind of sad, I know. With the damage that Stamdk can bring with dots, with dizzy swings, with leaps, they do have a pretty solid offensive kit, but they do lack supplemental burst skills like Crystal Weapon, like Blast Bones, like Subterranean Assault. They don't have any of those. They just have dots and leap, and sometimes that's not enough, especially with how tanky people are building right now. You know, everyone's going stage 3 Vamp. Some people are running like 3 defensive sets. We got Pariah. We got people in, you know, everyone's wearing, there's people like Trickery, Pariah combos, and just all sorts of stuff. With how high healing is right now, people can heal through Stamdk dots pretty effectively. And if you do not, like, have the perfect timing on your burst on Stamdk, it's pretty much wasted, and you've lost the kill. Because Stamdk kind of revolves around getting kills with ultimates. You know, you can get kills with just dizzy spam and dots. It works, but it's a lot less effective as it would be for something like a Sork that can crystal weapon up, dizzy swing someone's fucking teeth out of their mouth, and execute them right then and there. Now, also, they're slow as shit, okay? They don't have any mobility at all. They get some from being Stam. There's a few ways they can get it then. But with Stamdk's kit, you have to sacrifice some stuff to get some mobility on this class. Because there's already pretty rough bar space on Stamdk if you want to be extremely effective. So they're not super tanky inherently. They do have good healing. However, they lack a strong burst heal. By the way, I forgot to mention, Stampswork has Dark Deal, which is a pretty decent burst heal as well as insane sustain that they can spam. Stamdk doesn't really have that. They have Cauterize, but Cauterize costs mag. So you'll dump your entire mag bar on Cauterize. If you're using more than just a couple mag abilities on your Stamdk, you'll run out of mag really quick. You might not be able to armor buff sometimes, then you take a lot of extra damage, and you're like, please, can I just have some magic back? Now you're at half health, you're like, okay, do I armor buff or do I Cauterize? Do I armor buff or do I Cauterize? So Cauterize isn't the best burst heal in the game. It is spammable, but it also has that delay on it, so sometimes you'll Cauterize and die while you're waiting for it to take effect, which is kind of lame. Let's see. They don't really have much else when it comes to staying alive. They can block, I guess. But that's it. So Stamdk, good dot pressure. If you build for a straight up dot build, you'll be pretty toxic and cancerous, but at the end of the day, Stamdk it's a fantastic class, but it's just lacking so many things that other Stam classes do have, like strong supplemental burst, which all 3 of these Stam classes have. A good spammable, which these 2 classes have, and I guess technically Sork has. They don't have any of that, so Stamdk B tier. Sorry Stamdks. I love Stamdk too, okay? Next we got Stam Warden. I'm gonna put them in A tier. Stam Warden, obviously, it's easy mode. It's a very easy class to play. If you asked me 2 patches ago, I'd say Stam, then S tier, obviously. But right now, with the Arctic Blast nerf, and with the fact that Stamden is literally only surviving on bugs alone, basically, This class is pretty shit. Like, Stamdk is fantastic, okay? It does great damage with Subterranean Assault and Dizzy Swing combined, you know, with the Dawnbreaker. It's basically hitting somebody with 2 ultimates. But their healing is not all that great, I'm gonna be real with you. Unless you stack, like, 40k or more health, which, you know, it's annoying as shit. Ah, fuck it. Alright, I'm sorry. I lied to you guys. We're gonna put it in S tier. It's good still. The healing is good. You can be super tanky because you got too much damn health for anyone to actually put you down. I misled you all. I'm a lying bastard. Stand in S tier. It just I just wanted to believe, okay? I wanted to believe the Stamdks weren't as strong as they used to be, but god damn it, they still are. Yeah, they're still pretty strong. So Stamdk still aids. Nothing's changed there. Let's talk about Magplar. Magplar, I'm gonna put an A tier. Magplar's got a decent healing kit. And when I say decent, I mean they have Honor the Dead, which is okay. You can get a good tooltip on that skill, and if you can ever heal yourself with it, it's pretty good. You can do things like toss in a Resto Staff for rapid regen, or stack some health and use Living Dark. Those are pretty good heals. They do have access to a larger Magicka pool and a Stamplar, so they can cleanse a lot more frequently, which is pretty good. They don't have any mobility, and they do have to rely on Misform or Race Against Time. Neither of those are really ideal, because Misform doesn't fucking work half the time, and Race Against Time just leaves you open to getting your dick slapped around by a bunch of fucking monkeys that are chasing you. So that's no fun. Not to mention, you just don't really get any other, you know, class speed or anything. So classes that are naturally fast are going to keep up with you. So things like Stamdk that can spam their wings in medium armor, or, you know, a couple medium armor, so they got more sprint speed, they're going to keep up with you. They're still going to be hitting you in the back of the head with Dizzy Swings and Subterranean Assault. Same thing with Sorks. They're going to keep up with you pretty easy. They're still going to fucking rip your teeth out with Crystal Weapon Dizzy Swing combos constantly, all the time. You pretty much have to be a Vampire on Magplar, so you're going to be taking a lot of fire damage. You got a dot build hitting you. It's going to be kind of annoying because you're going to have to cleanse constantly. Waste all your mag on that, but they do have a good offensive kit, kind of. They don't really have any burst potential right now. Dark Flare exists, but it's not great. Purifying Light exists, but again, it's not great. They kind of have burst, but they do have access to a lot of dots if they choose to go that route, which I think is the single thing keeping it higher than Stamplar on the list. They just have a more robust offensive kit. You got things like AoE dots with Solar Barrage, which hits decently hard. You get your puncturing sweeps, which heal you, which is a pretty nice combo, especially with the higher damage right now. You have Crescent Sweep. Stamplar has Crescent Sweep too, but Magplar, I feel like it fits into Magplar's kit just a little bit better, just because you Crescent Sweep, you got Solar Barrage, you got your sweeps, you got this massive AoE offensive window at that point, and you can definitely put some big pressure into a lot of people if you are being outnumbered. So Magplar has that, which is pretty good, you know, but all in all, Magplar does not compete with the S tier classes at all. It's nowhere close. Nowhere close. But it's still good. Magplar, all in all, this patch, it feels good, because the damage is so high. You can go tanky on your Magplar, still kill people, because you got dots. You also have one of the best executes in the game. It's ranged, it's undodgeable, and you can make it heal you as well, which I always like to do. Very helpful. And yeah, so that's it. That's it for Magplar. And lastly, we have Stamdk, or Magden. I don't really know what to say about Magden. I guess it's like a B tier. Magden was really strong when it had procs to carry it, when it could just stack 50k HP with 4 procs and melt people, but now they can't do that, so they're kind of worthless, honestly. I guess they have decent pressure because they do have, you know, Magicka Subterranean Assault, whatever that skill is called. And, you know, you can combo that with a few things, but at the end of the day, Magdens mostly just kind of feel like you're fighting tanks again, kind of like Magblades, except for Magdens have just a better offensive kit, I believe. They've got some dots that they can work with. They've got that semi-spammable with Mag Subterranean. I just can't remember the damn name of the skill. Their healing kit is okay if they stack a lot of health, but they don't have Vigor to pair with their Arctic Blast, so that brings them down a couple notches. They don't have any mobility really, except for, yes they do, I'm lying to you, they do have the Bird of Prey, but again, you do have to spam that. So I mean, it's it's an okay class. Their healing kit is mediocre. I mean, again, unless you stack a lot of health, but then you're sacrificing damage. There is free damage right now, but you don't have an execute. You don't have a lot of ways to actually put targets in the dirt on Magden. So, yeah, B tier, I think, is about where Magden belongs. Definitely need to do something about that class, I think. We need to give, I think, Warden in general, maybe specifically Mag Warden, I think, needs an execute. That'd be nice. That'd be a nice addition to that class. Same thing with Magcrow. Magcrow needs some love, Magden needs some love, and Magblade needs some love. All those classes are, you know, they're doing alright, except Magblade, but they do need a little bit of attention. But yeah, that's it, guys. That is it for my tier list. If you agree, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments. You know, again, like I said earlier, it's all my opinion. This is all subjective. I don't play a lot of these classes. However, I do play against these classes every single day. So I get to measure their strengths and weaknesses just by fighting them, which is a lot more than some people really understand. And yeah, that is about it. That's the end of this video. Thank you guys for stopping by. And hope you guys... Jesus, my mouth. I hope you guys have a good day, okay? Love you. Mwah. Bye. I could follow you around like chocolate needs more. That you wanted.